Yeah, things have escalated here. Earlier in the hour, I mentioned things were peaceful, and now tensions have definitely erupted, not only between counter protesters and protesters, but protesters against the police. So, what happened was protesters were marching in the crosswalk, and then Portland police tried to get demonstrators out of the way of traffic, and then things completely escalated. Now, this crowd has been separated, and as you can see, there are more Portland police officers, there's state troopers out here, and tension is very thick out here. The crowd is yelling at police. They are very frustrated with what happened. They were marching in the crosswalk, as I mentioned, and they are now, again, very frustrated with what just transpired. The crowd has been completely separated on one side of the street and on the other side of the street, with Portland police in the middle. We want to just kind of give you a look at what we're seeing right now. It has been mentioned that they will be making targeted arrests if anyone is in the middle of the street blocking traffic. So that is why you can see this divide of the crowd right now, because they are trying to make sure nobody is in the middle of the street blocking traffic at all. But the tension is very thick. So not only, again, are protesters arguing with counter protesters and counter protesters arguing with protesters, but also now the crowd is frustrated with police after they were marching in the street, showing, and voicing their frustrations about the shootings that have transpired in Minneapolis and here in Portland. I want to just give you a look at what we're seeing right now and just kind of show you just how thick this tension is right now. And Portland police are just trying to get it under control and kind of de-escalate the situation. But for a while, it was a little bit of complete madness out here for a little bit. It is kind of calmed down just a tad bit as far as how kind of tense it got, but now it's starting to get a tad bit more tense again, and they're chanting shame. And now it seems like there is another, um, there are more people coming out, maybe even some ICE agents potentially near the ICE facility. So that kind of shifted the crowd towards the ICE facility now, which might be a new element that could add more attention out here. But right now, again, the crowd has erupted out here. It went from peaceful to a little bit of tension between protesters and counter protesters to now full-blown eruption out here. We're going to have to continually kind of show you what we're seeing out here from all angles, because this whole area is made up of protesters, counter protesters. We've even seen counter protesters and protesters threaten each other with pepper spraying each other out of, difference in opinion out here. So we're hoping that um, with all of the Portland police, the state troopers out here, maybe the situation will kind of de-escalate, but we don't know. But this is a look at what we're seeing out here. They're yelling shame at Portland police, constantly yelling at them because they were walking in the crosswalk, and yelling that they're frustrated that they can no longer walk in the crosswalk. There was a memorial, and there are candles that are here. You can't even see the candles anymore. They're kind of behind the candles now, and that is kind of lost here because of what happened. And so right now, it's just about kind of trying to calm this crowd down. And so right now, Portland police have just tried to make sure they're separated, and you can hear right now they're being warned that if they're in the street, there will be targeted arrest. And they're leaving, and the crowd is cheering. And I think that is because um, they're leaving now because the crowd is on opposite sides. But you can hear this crowd cheering right now because Portland police is leaving, but also now they're going back in the streets. So this is a look at what we're seeing out here right now. And they're saying our streets and going back in the street right now. So we could also see Portland police coming back now that they're going back in the streets. We just want you to be able to hear what we're hearing, see what we see out here. And they're waving goodbye to Portland police as they go, but they're back in the street. That was exactly why Portland police came, to get them out of the streets, and now they're returning back to the streets. I don't know what that'll do for the tension that was here, but they're back in the streets, they're chanting our streets, and we don't know what could happen next. But this is what we're seeing out here. It's been happening throughout the night. Protesters in the middle of the street, and PPB trying to make sure they are not in the middle of the roadway so drivers can continue to get through. Until we see what continues to happen here, I'm going to send it back to you in studio from the South Waterfront. Mikhala Armstrong, Fox 12 Oregon.